A lot of people struggle with the front scale. From my experience, this is one of the more useful movements you can do alongside your calisthenics training. So it's important to learn what the common mistakes are, learn how to fix those, and then when you get quite proficient at it, learn how to progress and make it more challenging. In particular, the front scale helps a lot with balance, of course, but also carries over more directly to some specific movements. So a pistol squat, the L sit, for those movements, you need to be able to lift the legs in a certain way, have the hips at a certain angle. Your hip flexors have to work in a certain way. So the front scale can help to train for that. Here's a demo of the front scale. I'm going to bring the hands out to the sides. I have my chest up, and then I'm going to start with this side. I'm going to lock the knee of my main supporting leg. So that's my left leg here. I lock the knee and point the toes on my right leg. So this one. And then keeping everything in place, I'm going to lift and hold right here. Note that I keep my knees straight, chest up, hips are squared forward. So that is your front scale. One of the most common mistakes that I've seen people do is rushing through their sets. So whether you're holding or lifting the leg up and down for reps, if you go too fast, you're one, not going to be as balanced, two, not going to be able to create tension the way we want for as long as we want, and three, just is not going to be controlled and that productive. So slowing it down, very simple, not easy to do, but very simple. Everyone can think about that and probably make some gains just from doing that. In terms of technique, one common issue that I've seen come up is people will go to do the front scale and they'll push the hips forward. So see how my hips go forward, or they're hunching, right? This is another common one, is kind of like driving the hips forward and hunching down, bending the knee. All of that usually stems from not keeping this area neutral how we want it. So in your setup, think about squeezing the belly, where are your hips, and we're going to keep the hips in place and not drive them forward as we do the front scale. Another common issue that I've seen come up is bending in the knees when training the front scale. That could be the standing leg or the lifted leg. Easiest way to work on that is to just not lift as high. So limit the range of motion at first. Make sure that you're able to, one, keep the hips in place, as I mentioned before, but two, keep the knees straight both on the supporting leg and on the lifting leg. Again, in your setup, you can focus on that. So right here, I focus straightening this knee, making sure this one is straight, and then maybe I just lift to here, right? Maybe that's all I can do. If I lift higher, I feel like this one starts to bend or my hips start to move. So a very simple way to adjust is, again, be really, really technical with your setup and just go for very small lifts here. Keep the knees straight, keep the hips in place. This is going to help you for balance, improving your balance, and working the hip flexor, which is what we're here for. On the flip side, maybe rather than struggling with the flexibility, you're actually super flexible and going here is no problem for you. A couple ways to add some challenge to this one. So first, I'm going to get into my position, and then you can do reps. So that's one way to add challenge. If you do, make sure they are slow and controlled. And again, don't lose the position here. So doing reps, pausing maybe in the top or the bottom, or just going really slowly throughout, that is one way to add some challenge here and make these tougher. Another way to add challenge that's a little bit harder to show, but I'll try to explain it, is getting into the position and just squeezing everything really hard. So instead of just, okay, I have straight knees, I'm good, I'm coming here, right? This is initially how you can do it, just to like figure out the position. But as you get better at it, I'm going to really actively squeeze my quads here, squeeze my abs, squeeze my quads, and just holding that, or doing lifts. But for now, just holding is going to make me work super hard because I'm squeezing really, really hard here. Mentally thinking about that as you go should help to create more challenge. So even if you're quite flexible or quite strong at this already, doing that should be a good way to make it tougher. Again, the front scale is a great drill for building up your balance, your flexibility, your hip flexor strength. It's just all around a really helpful drill to work on and should complement a lot of your calisthenics training. Again, like if you're working on the pistol squat or the L sit, or just generally want to be more versatile, more flexible, more strong, this drill is going to be a really good one for you. I like to start with the holds, the static holds, and then work in those lifts and work on building more tension. If you really need, you can even be near a wall and just kind of hold lightly as a support. That's another way to work on it. But be sure to implement the cues I gave. Be aware of the hip position, the knees. Try to stay balanced, really work on all of that together and be patient with it. It takes time, but it does pay off. If you have questions, let me know in the comments on this video and I will help you from there.